what's up? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to do some acrylic application on some colors that are not the easiest. So first I'm going to do this black color. This is the black from the brand Chisel that you can get from your local nail supply store. I'm going to use my Amazon practice finger and a nail tip. My favorite acrylic brush, the number 12 brush, D&D brand. And I'm going to show you how I do this application. Now, the trick to doing acrylic with these more difficult colors is to have patience with the bead so the bead isn't super runny, and making sure that you're cleaning your brush in between if you feel like it starts getting a little bit gunky and you want your work to be nice and neat. Just try to clean your brush more than usual with these colors that are super pigmented. So I'm going to show you how I do this application, and it's a little bit out of the frame here, but hopefully you can still see how I do it. Now, I usually, unless the design of the nail asks for like something encapsulated or whatever it may be, I usually don't do black acrylic just because clear is so much easier and you could just use black gel polish on top. But sometimes you need to have black acrylic. So I am cleaning it off camera, but you can see every time it's not in the shot, I'm cleaning the camera or cleaning the brush. So Aries, stop it. Okay, he just wants to. Aries. Alright, so just making sure that you're keeping your brush clean, and you shouldn't have any problems if you. Alright, so you shouldn't have any problems if you just try to keep your liquid to powder ratio on point and you are timing it out perfectly so that way the acrylic is not super runny. So this is the same application that I always do. However, I usually have been using my Valentino acrylics. So now that I'm using this Chisel brand with these colors, it is a little bit different. They aren't as they're a little bit more runny, or you have a little bit more time to work with them compared to Valentino. It also depends on the temperature. Temperature is huge. Now, when you are using black acrylic, it's going to depend on the brand, but sometimes it may take a little bit longer to actually harden. In that case, you might want to do a clear cap of on this color. That way you get a nice and dried acrylic by the time you start filing. So again, it just depends on the brand, but I found that with the Chisel brand, you might have to do a clear cap. Very thin, just to add that layer when you go and file it to perfection. So now we're going to work on the cuticle area. Now, I really don't like black acrylic. Once you find your way how to use it, it's better. But at first, it's so hard to use. It's just, you make a mess. It's everywhere. Or is that just me? Let me know if you've struggled with black acrylic before, because it's tricky. It really is, but you just have to learn your way around it, learn how to use it, and hopefully you won't have too much trouble after seeing this video on how to apply these kind of more difficult colors. And it'll give you a nice and even application as well. If you follow my steps in my application, it usually results in a pretty smooth nail. Sometimes you may pick up a bead that's a little bit runnier or one that's a little bit more dry, but that's why you always have to make sure that you are timing your acrylic, getting the right liquid to powder ratio. And you'll have pretty easily consistent nails that you don't have to try so hard to do. So this is how I use the black acrylic. You can see it's nice and smooth application. Let's go ahead and do a red color. So for me, black and red are the hardest acrylics to do. Clear is a little bit difficult sometimes because you can't really see exactly where you need more, but that's a different story for a different day. So this is a red color, same chisel brand, and we're going to do the same steps, always just making sure we're cleaning our brush and not picking up too much liquid, timing it out perfectly so that way when we go to apply it, you can see how buttery and smooth the consistency is and how easily it is to form. So you can see here it's starting to move a little bit to the sides, but that's why you have to make sure the finger is pointing down so that way it flows downwards. And I maybe could have timed it out a little bit more because you wanted to do the work for you. You want it to flow for you instead of having to keep moving it and touching it with your brush, which can make it a little bit harder to work with. It can have more product for you to deal with rather than if you have the perfect amount of liquid to powder. It flows, you have timed it perfectly, then you don't really have to manipulate it too much. You just have to guide it to where you want it to go and then clean it off and kind of shape it just a tiny bit. And you can see you just have to time it out perfectly. So play around with it and you'll kind of get to learn your acrylic and the way that it behaves, so that way you have consistent nails and you're not struggling every time thinking, okay, is it going to come out good this time or no? Because that's very frustrating when each nail is coming out differently and they're all the same, like one comes out really good or one hand comes out really good. It's very frustrating. So just want to make sure you're timing everything perfectly. And especially with this chisel brand, let me know if you have used this brand. I have a few of these colors simply because it was, well, it still is, but the store is very close to me. The nail supply store is very close to me, so it was just easy and convenient to go to the store to pick up some acrylics if a client all of a sudden wanted something that I didn't have on a short notice, no time for shipping it. So this brand has pretty good quality, really pretty colors, and pretty inexpensive too, so that's always a plus. So you can see that I am picking up pretty consistent size beads as well, so that the acrylic isn't too runny, it's not too thick of an application, patting and swiping when needed. So that is how I apply the black acrylic and red acrylic, which are to me one of the most difficult colors to use when doing nails. Now, it's totally up to you if you want to clear cap it, even if you are doing just a thin color layer and then building it up with the clear. That's up to you as well, but look how beautiful this color is. It is so nice and perfect for the holiday season when you're doing some Christmas themed nails. This is one of my favorite colors to use. Just a bright red to really bring in the Christmas spirit. So cute. Alright guys, I am going to let you watch the rest of it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next videos. Bye.